Oh, and we're back. Let's go steal some uniforms. Hey, Dragon.
The gull wings, was it not? Sphere hunters that give back spheres. Don't you think that's a little odd? If you're going to side with New Yevon, you might want to leave before something unfortunate happens.
So yeah, we're kind of locked out of Kilika for a bit. This is one of the more larger downsides of siding with Yevon. So, yay. Yevon tools. Politics, am I right? Crap like that is half of why I try to avoid politics in real life. Like, imagine for a moment if Bragon was of the Horde. And I'm not Horde or Alliance. And I'm like, hey Bragon, how you doing? And I don't know, help Bragon out with something. Then people are like, oh, you've sided with the Horde, how dare you, what's wrong with you? And that may sound like an exaggeration, but that's actually happened to me in real life. More than way too many damn times. Yeah, partisan mentality. I freaking hate partisan mentality.
Hello and good afternoon, Luca. This is Shalinda bringing you all the latest news from throughout Spira. These days, everyone's talking about the groups battling throughout Spira for control of the spheres. Let's start with the Youth League. From its leader, Maven Nuge, on down, their ranks are made up mostly of former Crusaders. Fresh off its attack on Kilika Temple, the Youth League is sending shockwaves throughout Spira. Pairing off against them is none other than New Yevon. All eyes were on them after the New Yevon chairman's sudden resignation. Chaos seemed inevitable. But their newly appointed leader, Praetor Barrelai, has held them together with utmost finesse. Another group turning a lot of heads is the Machine Faction, an Albed organization. They've managed to distance themselves from the sphere struggle embroiling Spira. But their unmatched technological prowess could well be enough to dramatically shift the balance.
Yeah, that's me. Sorry.
And let's not forget the LeBlanc Syndicate, the gang with a style all its own. Headquartered at Chateau LeBlanc in Guadalcanal, its agents span the globe. But lately, there's one group in particular that's been drawing all kinds of attention. That's right, the only group led by a High Summoner, the Gullwings! And now, here's today's special guest, High Summoner Yuna.
Huh? Break a leg.
Lady Yuna, your concert the other day was nothing short of spectacular.
Well, it was sort of me up there, but not exactly.
Puzzling words, to be sure.
Puzzling words, to be sure.
Puzzling? Why the sudden career change to spear hunting? It sounds like you caused quite a stir with that disappearing act you pulled on Besaid.
And I'm very sorry about that.
Rumor has it you left the island looking for clues about a certain young man. Anything you can share with us? So, tell us about him.
It's a long story.
I'm sure it is. One can only imagine the fascinating tales that led to you becoming the leader of the Gullwings.
Hold it right there! I'm the leader, me! Goldwings, we rock you!
Whoa! This thing on?
It's taping 2 morons right now. This is just a toy compared to the things I've invented.
Tell us, is it true that the Gullwings have thrown their support behind New Yevon?
That statement is kind of true, but not really. No!
We don't want to get caught up in other people's problems.
so many questions left to ask, but I'm afraid we're out of time. Our thanks to today's guests, High Summoner Yuna and the Gold Wings.
Nice to see Shalinda's up to something, but that goes back to what I was just talking about. We decided to give back the sphere, and therefore we've thrown in our support with New Yevon. Whatever. Thank you very, very much, Jordan T. Hurt, for both subs. Much appreciated. If you give me a moment, I'll put those to as KOTOR 1, but definitely not KOTOR 2. And thank you, Mike, very much for the bits. Although you didn't tell me where you want to put those. So I'm afraid we're going to have to stab you until you do tell me.
Not bad.
You should have joined in too.
Yeah, it was more fun watching.
Lady Yuna, great interview. Thank you so much for helping me out. This isn't much, but consider it a token of my gratitude.
The covetous grid.
So, how long you been doing this? Well, after the calm came, the temples were in decline.
Gee, I wonder why.
At first, I thought the best thing I could do would be to help the temples get back on their feet. But everyone just ordered me around. I got tired of it.
You couldn't just tell them no?
That's the part of me I wanted to change. I made up my mind to leave the temple and come here to Luca. They needed people for this and they asked me to help. So, here I am.
Another job you were asked to do?
I suppose nothing about me has really changed after all. Oh, I gotta run. My next assignment is about to start. See you later, Lady Yuna.
She complains, but you can tell she enjoys it.
Sounds a bit like Uni, don't you think?
Really?
There's a lot of human stuff about this
Care to
game.
give us your opinion?
The hardest person to know is yourself.
Hey, cut that out.
And then it's ruined by scenes like that. This is such a weird game. Have I given a negative to that yet? Let's find out. Yep. I have given it a negative. I was actually thinking about that during the break. There's a lot I enjoy about the story of this game. Really. But I caught myself mentally thinking something along the lines of, there's good story if you just push past the bad. And as soon as I caught myself thinking that, I was like, hang on a second. That's a problem, isn't it? If I have to mentally eject parts of the story to enjoy it, that's a problem. That's true, Final Cloud. God, yeah, the walkthrough-itis in this game is real. I get that it's only going to be one negative because there are elements of the game that kind of discourage walkthrough-itis and encourage exploration and doing everything. That does help mitigate. But there is still a lot of walkthrough-itis to slog through, so that's why it still deserves a negative in my opinion. Do I enjoy Sphere Break? If I ever do make another 100% save of this game, which I probably won't, to be completely honest, because I won't have time, but if I ever did, the one thing I would dread doing is Sphere Break, because I hate Sphere Break so much. I hate it. I hate it! Sorry. Hello, Paid Maniac. I think so. I did that. I did that. I'm actually think I'm done here for the moment, because I can't do Sphere Break yet. Thank. I don't know, let me pull up a walkthrough. Yeah, Via Infinito is the other thing. I gotta be 100% real, I would probably look into cheating Via Infinito if I wanted to. I wouldn't count, though, and I wouldn't do that. See, I don't cheat when I'm 100%ing. That defeats the point. If I'm gonna cheat, I might as well not even 100%, right? Oh my goodness, excuse me. It depends, Pathetic Wolf. Although lore runs are the main things that I will cheat on. Because cheats are mandatory for a lore run. However, just about everything else I usually try to avoid cheats, with two major provisos. One, if the game, some aspect of the game sucks and therefore I don't care. Or two, if I have no respect for the game to begin with, or actively don't enjoy it. Good example of that latter category would be Final Fantasy VIII, which I just don't care about, so I have no problem going ahead and, you know, just cheating my face off. It'll actually, this time through will be the last time I ever try FF8 without cheats. Now, I do actually want to do this, but I'm not going to walk all the way down this time. We're going to do this. To the travel agency, please. Awesome. Yes, sorry, I thought I answered you, Dream Whisperer, but I think I did it. Or I was going to answer and then I started sneezing. Yes, we do see the previous airship. It's in Xanarkand. It's just hanging out. It's not doing anything. Come on, Rin. Where are you?
Sorry, but you won't be able to go chocobo riding.
I see. Sorry to bother you. You aren't Lady Yuna by any chance?
No.
I am.
I don't suppose you remember me, do you?
Actually, I don't this time.
You can't be Callie?
That's right. You really do remember me.
Yeah, she's...
Remember Callie? We met her 2 years ago on the Mihen High Road. The little girl that was so looking forward to the calm. What are you doing here?
I came to ride a chocobo. I've wanted to ride one for as long as I can remember.
You don't see too many chocobos these days. Everybody rides hovers.
Yeah. On top of that, I hear there's a chocobo hunting fiend prowling around. This isn't a very good place for poor little chocobos anymore.
Maybe they're gone for good.
So... about that negative to gameplay. As much as I hate to give negatives.
Cho?
It's a chocobo!
Seriously, though. I hate this song. I'm gonna mute myself so you can enjoy it.
It went this way!
This might actually be the worst Chocobo theme
Ooh, there it is!
in the entire
Stay close
franchise.
to me. I'll get that chocobo.
So you enjoy.
It's over there!
Yes, even including that, Dream Whisperer.
Ooh, there it is! Stay close to me. I'll get that chocobo.
You're welcome.
It's over there!
No, it's not. You get a lot of chocobo feathers this way. I suppose I should replace it with a song.
Ooh, there it is!
One ball.
Stay close to me. I'll get that chocobo.
One moment. One moment. You really want me to play the Fat Chocobo theme? Okay. Also, I hate hot and cold while we're here.
It's over there!
Oh, whoops.
Ooh, there! Stay close to me. It's over there!
Huh!
It went back. It's over there!
Okay, so I think that's all of the chests. I think.
Stay close to me.
Thankfully, the game just has a built-in option to do that, Final Cloud. Or you can just mute the TV or take out your headphones or whatever you prefer.
It's over.
So what's your favorite Chocobo theme? I know mine off the top of my head. I actually don't like most of the Chocobo themes in the franchise, just as a preference thing. If anybody says this one, you have my permission to stab them. Not the FF6 one, I mean the 10-2 one. I barely even remember the one from 14. I turned off mount music pretty early on in 14.
It's over there!
Nope.
There it is! What did I tell ya? I'll watch the far end. No chocobos will get out that way.
I've got this end.
And that leaves me to catch it.
This one's okay, actually. 7s. Still not my favorite, but it's alright. It's one of the better ones, I'd say. You like playing Rochambeau, right? Because that's what this is. Rock, paper, scissors. Basically, you just have to get so many successes to win this. Altogether. Thank God you don't have to do it in a row. That would be awful. Yeah, that would be just absolutely nuts. That would be approaching negative territory by itself. Although I don't remember what you get for doing this one. By the way, they do kind of show you where it's going. I was just curious if anybody would notice it. After the first couple ones, he starts pointing where he's going to go. See? He's pointing to the right. So, where would a negative to music go, guys? God, that's a rarity. Giving a negative for music. Riku!
Maybe it's just me, but this is starting to chap my hide.
Really?
Come back here, bird brain!
I say we hunt it down with the airship and smush it. Or, I mean...
Oh, where to go this time? Aha! Look! Over there! Let's hurry!
Huh? It's gone.
For such scrawny legs, it sure can run.
By the way, this side quest is actually... So one of the things FF10 does, which is either good or bad, depending on your opinion, is several of the side quests dovetail into each other. This one will dovetail into the malfunctioning Machina quest, which is actually a multi-chapter quest. And is one of the extremely rare examples of a quest that has retroactive answers to it. Like, basically, depending on what you do, determines the answer to the mystery. Now, I'm pretty sure we just guaranteed that this is actually going to be Riku at fault for the mystery. So, there you go. Riku just caused a catastrophe. You're welcome. Oop, let's go grab this. So if you want to get the most amusing result, which is Rin is responsible, you have to do things pretty specifically.
Piece of cake!
We should be able to do this. It's okay, I don't know how to talk, Mr. Red, so we're kind of even on that one. But the music even works for the combat. God, we are worthless.
There's got to be a better way than this.
Well, we won't get anywhere running after him. We need to think of something else.
Which is funny, I actually don't like the design of her sword at all, but it's just me. Run it down! Run it down!
Finally.
Merry Black Mage stabbing. Smiths.
Hey! Your friend's in hot water.
It's a long song. Oh, I think the actual in-game song's done. So we can go ahead and do that now. And turn on the incredibly scintillating in-game music.
Wait, come on!
Hey, an actual good song.
You can't!
Why
But there
not?
isn't time.
Then we'll just have to hurry, won't we?
Right.
Can someone do me a favor and look up FF102 Charm Bangle? Because I don't remember what gives it, and I'm actually curious how far into the game you get it. It's an accessory. And it removes all encounters. It's the Ink Nun for this game. Thankfully, the counter doesn't count down in combat, otherwise this would suck. So, 500 credits, that's probably when I get it. Or from Logos and Guadasalam. Oh, nice. So that's actually relatively early. Good. So, getting Ink Nun earlier into the game, in my opinion, is always a good thing. Unlike, say, FF10, where you didn't get Ink Nun until way into the game. Or 6. To use another example. I like 6, but damn, you don't get Ink Nun until way too far into that game. 8, you can get it pretty early if you know what you're doing. 5 doesn't have one. 7 doesn't have one. 9 doesn't have one. 12 doesn't have one because it doesn't need one, because it's awesome. And Lormum.
We made it!
Let's clean up.
Damn right. We've probably got this fight. Ow. Okay, so let's bring him down a little bit. Hurry. We're gonna actually bring him down twice. Hey, remember this guy that we just got wrecked by in 10? Well, screw him. Sorry, debating. Black Mage comes to mind immediately, Final Cloud, because I think it actually looks pretty cool. Also White Mage, which also looks pretty cool. Past that, I'd have to think. Or look at them again so I can remember. There is a wait option, which I believe makes it so that nothing happens while you're in a menu. I don't prefer that personally, but it is an option you can turn on. Agreed, Myron.
She looks happy.
Whatever works for her.
Shall we?
So for all that, well, we get that. Yeah, I don't know why. It's weird, Final Cloud. I hope she's recovering, period. Which grid is that one? Ah, that's the shell one. That one can be useful. Not great. We also got a bunch of chocobo feathers, which are haste items, which can be useful, especially early game. Yeah, speaking of which, how much weight do you think Riku just lost? Keeping in mind she doesn't eat to begin with. Okay, so we did that. That's where that one is. No, we're in chapter 2 now. I think that's the other one. Good evening, Hazardous. Yeah, I think this is right. Yes, Mr. Red. Also, because she has, you know, fantasy... what do you call that? Oh god, I can't think of the term. Metabolism. She has fantasy metabolism.
Hello, Goldwings. Good to see you.
Oh, it's Toby's assistant.
Would you mind doing us a favor?
What kind of favor?
Chief throwing a festival, singing and dancing in celebration. We're seeking musicians for a troupe, yes. Where could they be?
So, you want us to help you find them?
We is counting on you, Gullwings.
Sure, why not? Or we could say, sorry.
Thank you. If you find musician, give them this letter, yes?
Okay. We should spend some time capturing... Actually, we don't have to do the fireflies, although I spent an enormous amount of time here oversouling, because there's a lot of enemy types here for oversoul caching. I don't even remember what you get for finishing the oversoul thing. Does anyone remember? Because I don't remember off the top of my head. Let's just blow that. Oh, crap. I'm gonna die. Hang on. In the interest of not dying, that's my fault. Just trying to text my mother here. Why does that not surprise me? Question mark. Well, whatever. Period. How's your day going? Question mark. I guess I could have just accepted the death. Whatever. I'm dumb. I accept death. Here, I'll refuse to get anything from that. Or I could get a little bit of experience, my bad, whatever. I should have just accepted the death. What was I going to say? The end! That's what you get from that. So, that's amusing. Because that thing is one of those awesome but impractical, I think is what TV Tropes calls that. And it is so true. That thing is so useless in any actual functional method. No, Savicom. Although I'm surprised I'm doing this badly. I should be a pretty decent level right now. The End is a garment grid where if you traverse the entire grid, you can cast the End, I think. I forget what the actual name of the spell is. Hang on. Let me look that up.
Effortless.
Nope, I'm wrong. Finale is the name of the ability. So simply having the end grid allows you to break HP limit. And if you go across, looks like the top end of the grid, you can break damage limit. And if you go all the way around it, you can cast Finale. And Finale is not that great. So it's kind of whatever. If I'm not mistaken, Higher Power or Font of Power are the two I tend to use long-term. Although, Supreme Light is pretty good too, because if you move around that gives you auto-life. Most impractical character design I've ever seen, Lulu. What? I want you to actually think about the practicality of the outfit she's wearing for a second. I don't care that she has a big chest, that doesn't matter. She's wearing a bunch of belts and a corset. Come on. Yeah, comma. I'll be here for a few days, period. It's a fun one, comma. So it's a lot less stressful than the last game, period. Although I don't care for some aspects of the story, comma. A little too hyper for me, period. She's asking about FF10 2 in relation to FF10, because my mother's amazing. So I do have a conversation we need to have here, guys. Where do we put the music negative? We're running from that thing. We are not ready for that fight. Well, hang on. Let's see if we can do this, first of all. And, ooh.
Kiss me.
Nope. Okay, that doesn't work. Neither does that. Yeah, that's a run. That's a run. Then we leave Pain to die. By the way, if you're playing this casually and just want to level a bit, this is actually probably one of the better places to level in the game. The Macalania Woods. I don't actually level in this game until I get to the far plane, but... So, dumbest weapon in all of Final Fantasy. I think I'm the only person in the world who actually kind of likes the Blitzball. Although that's mostly because of its use in-game. No, for me, I think Vanille's stupid antler whip bouncy ball yo-yo thing in 13 is worse than the Blitzball. Ward's anchor is awesome. Because it's an anchor. He's attacking people with an anchor. What more do I need to add to that? The dolls make perfect sense until she attacks with them. Like, it's a focus for casting. Cool. Makes perfect sense. There's another game called Asheron's Call. If you have a casting weapon equipped, you are physically incapable of meleeing with it. Which makes sense, because it's not a weapon in the traditional sense. It's a weapon to focus your power through. But then Lulu, like, sends it off and it bonks people, and it loses me immediately. What am I doing? I'm doing this. So I need to check my abilities. So she's learning Demi, which she should. She's on to Excalibur, which is exactly what I want her on. And she's probably still... Yeah, as I say, Excalibur's going to take a while. I don't think the hairpin's actually a weapon in any sense of the word, because he just bites people. So if we're just saying that, you know, Red 13's jaws, I mean, yeah, sure. But no. The megaphone is, in a similar fashion, not actually a weapon, because it's just the Big Mog actually punching things. His attack animation is thonk. So the megaphone has nothing to do with anything. Not really. By contrast, that stupid, weird thing that Vanille uses is actually something that she uses and hits people with.
Boo-boos be gone!
Yeah, the megaphone's a stat stick, exactly. It's a spear back in BC in World of Warcraft.
I could get used to this.
Yeah, believe it or not, most of the weapons in the FF series don't strike me as particularly dumb. Unless we count Final Fantasy Tactics Advance or Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2, in which case they use a pizza cutter as a weapon. Which is pretty dumb. It's actually, it's what my mind immediately goes to when I think of dumb weapons, is that stupid pizza cutter.
What business do you have with me?
We have a letter from someone named Tobley.
Do you think you can help him out?
I must speak with my friends. It is not my right to decide for them. A moment, please.
Sure. Why not? Yeah, if dumbest in the main series, I already stand by.
I cannot hear their voices. Their minds must be closed.
Vanille.
What do you mean?
The spirits of my friends often become butterflies and drift through the woods. If it is no trouble, why don't you seek them out and ask them yourself?
Yeah, sure, I'll go capture butterflies in Macalania. I don't have bad memories about that at all. Worst written character in FF? I was trying to limit myself to playable characters, but yeah, brother. I'll go with that. Brother. Easy answer. I don't actually remember if any butterflies are up top. That's why I'm checking here. No, as much as I'd love to say Hope, the harsh reality is I think Lightning is worse written in 13.1 than Hope. Like, Lightning is not just... Lightning is extremely inconsistently written, in addition to being... Yeah, she's a one-note character at best. And there are possibilities of trying to flesh her out and add depth to her, but they kind of fall flat. And as a result, they end up having inconsistency. So, there's a problem. If we were to eject 13 from the list, so worst written character from 1 to 12...
Huh? What can I do for ye?
Well?
I can help ye. If it's music that you're after, just leave it to me and the lads.
I sure hope not, Dream Whisper. Do I think FF13 is good? Ask me again when I've reviewed it, which will probably happen someday. And yes, that's definitely a groan you just heard in my voice. Because that would mean playing the game without cheats.
Oh dear, oh my, you startled me. Whatever could the problem be?
I have a favor to ask.
No, I do not mind at all. We'll play our songs and have a ball.
My friends do not seem to object. We will help you, Tobli.
We shall present a great event.
We'll get 'em all a real gas, you'll see, eh?
Yes, it will be a brilliant finale for our doomed kind.
Doomed?
If only all the faith had stayed, the woods would never ever fade.
But it looks like we'll be meeting our end someday soon.
Mission complete! No, actually. However, well... Yeah. The three FF13s aren't super disconnected. I actually discussed them going through the lore run. It would be more accurate to say that 13.1 is seemingly disconnected from the other two, whereas 13.2 and 13.3 are directly connected to each other. But 13 is heavily influenced and relevant to the events of 13.3. It's just almost all of that is in hindsight. Oh, wow. Okay. So we just got an Oversoul. I think we can manage that one. That wouldn't surprise me, Crazy Norse. Like, a lot of the... Let's call it a lot of the groundwork for 13.2 and 13.3 were laid in 13.1, but all of it was really behind-the-scenes lore. Like, the kind of stuff you'd really have to go digging for. In short, yeah, not really designed with a sequel in mind. I mean, yes, Pave Maniac, but mostly no. Listen, Pave Maniac, she is chosen by God, and therefore, you know, she needs to be standoffish. And obviously, that person is not evil. She was chosen by Saint Eva. How can that be a bad thing? Okay, this encounter rate. Holy crap. Let's just get this over with. Let's actually do this. Stack it all properly.
Chin up, eyes forward.
This'll help.
Oh no, I could talk about FF13 extensively, I just don't want to. Yeah, there was a pretty... So, 13 was originally supposed to be part of a whole new project. Their third project like that. It's worth noting both of their other project fails miserably, depending on how you think of it. There was a Evil East project and there was an FF7 project. The Evil East project produced crap, basically. That was, with the only actual good games being effectively completely unconnected to each other. Then there was the FF7 project, which produced stuff that has a lot of asterisks next to it to be qualified as good. And then there's the 13 project, which failed completely, and actually resulted in FF15 being made. I'm not going to insult Dirge, even though it's a terrible game.
Hi, Summoner Yuna. I am Leon Ronso. We have not met.
Nice to meet you, Leon. And this is?
Aid Ronso.
Hello, Aid.
We are happy to meet you. Leon and Aid hear many stories of Lady Yuna. Elder Kimari tells of your journey together. But please, do not speak to Elder of meeting Leon and Aid today.
Why not?
Oh. You must be the two kids who left Mount Gagazet, right? Kimari's really worried.
Should we take them back?
Yeah.
Too late.
What?
They can really move.
Ah, well. Kids, am I right? I think we should be able to do the Chocobo Dungeon now, but I guess we'll find out in a second here. If not, whatever, we'll get a little experience on the way.
No problem.
So regardless of my opinions of Dirge, I mean, my point is that the FF7 thing, the compilation they tried, is a mixed bag, pretty much across the board. Crisis Core has good elements, and then bad elements. Before Crisis is something most people never even got to play, and also has a lot of bad elements. Dirge of Cerberus, I don't actually want to talk about. And then there's Advent Children, which is an enjoyable film. But even people I talk to who like it, never mind myself, of course, speak of its flaws because they're fairly self-apparent. The Evil East project, which was done after they tried to connect things together, produced Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2, and Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. All of which are not games I'm willing to consider as good. Really? Still? Okay, whatever. So... we did get the PSP version of Tactics, that's nice. Give them that. Which I personally prefer over the PS1 version of Tactics. animation is so weird. I'd ask if real people run like that, but I don't think I want to know the answer. Oh yeah, every chapter, all the chests reset. So if you didn't get a chest in an earlier thing, then screw you. I've only played through Dirge twice. And there are parts of Dirge I like. There are. But... yeah. Moving on. Okay, so time to hit this one. Oh god, it's the Magus Sisters! God, wouldn't that be terrible?
It's those sphere thieves, the Go-Wings! Watch yourselves!
Sir!
Red alert!
What were you thinking, Lady Yuna? How could you give the sphere to Yevon?
You know, I'd make fun because we literally saved the world in a total way that is hard to even properly explain in real-life consequences. And yet, everyone's like, oh my god, you gave a sphere to the other faction. You're the enemy. And I'd love to make fun of that, but that's so realistic, it just kind of bothers me a little bit.
Some of the more hot-headed among us have convinced themselves that the Go-Wings are the enemy.
You've got hasty friends.
Exactly. They are too hasty in their judgment, but I still have faith in you, Lady Yuna. I'll run to headquarters right away and ask them to call off the red alert. Farewell!
Thanks, Yabble.
When does he find time to breathe?
No, True Whisperer. You're right, Final Cloud. I'm sorry for being the devil. So then the Youth League actually attacks us. Remember, the Youth League are the ones who initiate almost every fight in this entire game, politically speaking.
See ya.
So... that's why So someone asked earlier, what do I tend more towards, New Yevon or Youth League? I tend more towards New Yevon. I've seen exactly what brash, hard-headed idiocy gets in real life, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not exactly a fan of hard-nosed traditionalism either, but, you know, what is it, a giant douche and a turd sandwich, something like that? So, take your frickin' pick, right? By the way, if you go to Bavel, you are attacked by New Yevon as well, so it's not like they come out of this all squeaky clean. I'm sorry, Crazy Norse. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Buddy here. We're picking up some weak sphere waves near you.
Yeah, it's the main plot.
I don't see anything.
It's probably in the ravine. Do you see a way down?
Okay, we'll take a look.
Be careful!
Shut up. But yeah, seriously, funny thought, almost all of the main plot of this game is effectively optional. Now you're just talking nonsense, Mr. Red. Why you gotta be so nonsensical? Really? Wow. Fine. Oh crap, I still have animations turned on, don't I? It's not worth it at that point. I know, right, Crazy Norse? Someone earlier, I think it was Mr. Red, commented how this game is basically the total opposite of FF10.
You won't be needing that, will you?
And I agree. Although, don't mistake me, I enjoy quite a few elements of FF10's gameplay. Just like I enjoy quite a few elements of FF10 2's story, it's just... the slanting is obvious. Right, hang on. First, let's do this. There we go. This. Get rid of this guy. Let's go with this. And this. That wouldn't even surprise me, Final Cloud. You and I wished... And he loses a leg. But it's like, alright, what do we say? I'm sorry, please heal me. It burns. That's because I put fire ants in the trap this time. Yuna. What was that? That's the gasoline part of the trap. Oh my god. Why would you do this to me? Because you deserve it.
Piece of cake!
Oversouls. We're getting a lot of oversouls. Otyug? What the hell is an Otyug?
Over already?
Oh, there it is. I always miss that. Come on. There we go. Ah, gotcha. I should probably grab this while I'm here. I thought there was a chest up here. Whatever. Oh god. Run. By the way, oversouling Tonberries sucks. Because Tonberries are a rare enemy that only really appear in this area, and you need to kill 10 of them, or 9 of them. Then you have to kill the oversouled Tonberry. I remember that as being one of the worst things to oversoul in this game. That and those frickin' blob things in Macalania. Ugh. Kind of like the monster arena, oversouling some things is pretty easy. Then it's when you have to fill out the whole map, and it's like, oh, ugh. Come on, there we go. Saved in like an hour. Where the hell? God, this map is awful. So, hey look, it's the main plot.
Well, I see the Gullwings have guts. Our League members are out for blood. This is no place for pawns of Yevon.
Pawns? The Gullwings work for no one.
That is just the problem. The calm comes and suddenly Spira is full of kids playing pirates.
Why, you...
Rico!
Never thought you'd end up a sphere hunter. It's yours. Happy hunting.
So, if you get all the Crimson Spheres, you get Payne's backstory and her character arc and all that stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, we're not going to do all that because it's a bunch of optional stuff that I don't even remember how to do all of it. So.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You know him?
It's good backstory, though.
Why?
And they flesh out Payne quite a bit. Payne's a full character if you do all the stuff. If you do just the main quest, you'd be forgiven for thinking she's not a character. But she is.
Did you care?
Come on, there was something between you two, right?
Riku! I'll say this once, okay? I consider you friends and I trust you. I even respect you, alright? I would think that'd be enough.
Well, yeah, but don't you ever want to know more about your friends?
Not really.
Well, I do. I do want to know more about you.
What for? Who cares what happened in the past?
There was something. Come on, Payne, you can tell us. What happened?
You disappoint me, Yuna. I thought you were above all that.
Well, not anymore. I like asking questions.
You'll lose friends.
You think so? Never mind then.
Oh, and I was looking forward to hearing the good stuff. Confessions of a shady past.
Riku.
You're a pain. -4 respect points, Riku.
Uh-oh, how many points left?
47.
That's not a whole lot, is it?
Why don't you figure out how to get in here instead of inside my head?
Maybe we need spheres like that one to open it.
Yeah, all of them.
It might open if we find them all.
I kind of still want to know what happened.
That's 46.
Yeah, I would actually agree. Payne is what Lightning should have been, which is funny when you think about it. She's a surprisingly good character. She is a one-dimensional character, but only on the surface. She is a much more fleshed out character if you bother to learn more about her. The only downside is basically all of that is optional content. Which is FF10-2 in a nutshell. Optional content. So now I actually need to go back to where I just was. Here. Pretty sure. In fact, if there's going to be a story plus for character in this game, it's probably going to be for Payne. It will definitely not be for Yuna or Riku.
That's weird. Where did we drop that thing?
We gotta find that sphere or the boss will be furious. We might even get the heel.
Why don't you stop complaining and help me look?
I don't know about you guys, but when I'm talking with someone, I casually do backflips that are basically physically impossible to do, as just a normal course of interaction.
Hey, did you hear that? Let's find it first.
Someone's turning Yuna into a bad girl.
Who?
By the way, catching chocobos in this game also kind of sucks. Just while we're on the subject of things that kind of suck to do. Once you get to the point of actually trying to capture chocobos, it's a little easier, because by then you actually have the greens and all that, but... And you probably have auto haste. If you don't, well, sucks to be you.
Leave it to me.
So I mentioned before that these guys are Team Rocket. Right? I'm pretty sure you've heard me say that at least 30 times, something like that.
Nice work!
This is probably the most obvious example of this.
That's where it was. Sorry for the trouble. I appreciate yous finding it for us, though. What? You're not giving it back? The nerve!
The gull wings.
These meanies won't give me back the sphere!
So then we take it back.
Huh?
And on that note, take it back.
Team Rocket, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys deserve a medal.
Parting is such sweet song.
So, minigames didn't enter the FF franchise until 7, but they've been a regular feature ever since. So what do you guys think? Which FF had the best minigames?
Goodbye, little girl.
And then they pull out the magic card. Yeah. I have to admit, my knee-jerk reaction is also 7. While I do enjoy the card game in 8, I really hate most of the gameplay attached to the card game in 8. 12 had a bunch of stuff, but most of it was mostly forgettable. 10-2 has a bunch of stuff, and it's about half good and half terrible. Enjoy the butt shot. I dislike almost all of 9's minigames. 8 had a couple things, Crazy Norse, but it was mostly the card game and the regional thing, which is what I really didn't care for. Okay. So we got that one, we got that one. Which one am I missing? Lost track of what I've done here.
I know.
9 didn't have anything. What are you talking about? 9 had no minigames. None. You know what 9 had? Jump rope. Is it Beaconell? Oh, you're right. It is Beaconell. God. You're right. I was just going to start going to places I haven't gone yet. Yes, pick it.
Oh, before you start digging, I'd really like you to go check out the Oasis for me. Some strange stuff's been washing up there lately. I'd appreciate it if you looked into it.
Sure. Negative for character outfits. I mean, if I was doing that, I'd have to give it for 10 as well.
Look, a sphere!
So that's all 3 mega dress spheres, which I'll show off at some point. But what you mean right now?
You can lead a gullwing to water, but you can't make it drink.
Say, those are nice uniforms.
Enough of this nonsense!
They really like the backflips, don't they? Yuna or Riku? Someone, quick. Yuna or Riku? Oh, I can't do it, can I? Never mind. Take it back, take it back. I forgot I have animations turned off, and I don't want to show it with the animations off. Never mind. But I saw Yuna first, so we'll do Yuna once we get there. I actually like Yuna's. It took me a bit to get used to it, but I do like it, mostly because its animations are really cool.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Everyone says that preachings. It's not him, for perspective. I love how slowly he runs away. We can just see him. It's like, dude, we can... You're right. Okay, whatever. Hope you like seeing this airship. They like showing it a lot.
Well?
It's perfect.
We're off to Chateau LeBlanc.
Let's settle the score.
Oh, I think that's a grid I want. Hang on. It is. This is a good grid. You start off with strength and magic plus 10, which is a fairly decent amount. And then each node gives you either strength or magic plus 10. So, we're going to go ahead and put warrior in there. It's also got a lot of slots, so that's nice. Let's do... there, here. Y'all. Y'all. I'll just leave the other one empty for right now. Hey guys, do you think there's any, like, sexual overtones in this game? Because I don't. I mean, this whole game is very innocent, I would say.
I hope this works.
Worry after we're caught.
Okie dokie, let's change.
Yeah, I agree. There really isn't. It's cool.
Huh? Reporting for duty.
Thanks?
Another smashing success.
We're not done yet. Where's the sphere?
Thank you, LeBlanc.
Anything for you, love.
Now I finally know the location of Vegnagun. Spira is in for a rough ride. Take care.
When I destroy it.
Yes, love. Oh, how long must we be apart?
No,
These
Mr. Red.
days without you are not easy on me, love.
Oh, right. Really? Okay, I guess we'll do this first. Sorry, I was gonna do the best minigame in the game, but unfortunately the game won't let me in. Look, it's the same fruit from 2 years ago.
The boss is a different person when that Nuge guy shows up, huh?
Suppressing her natural charm and acting like some housewife, she must be tense. You, go to the boss's chambre and tend to your duties.
What duties?
You know, use your talents to help her unwind.
No overtones about that one. Oh my god. Okay, all joking aside, really, this is probably my least favorite minigame in the entire game. No, really. By the way, she made a statue of him. So this goes back to what Mr. Red said. Do I think LeBlanc actually loves him? No. I think what she has is lust, absolutely, and probably a lot of idol worship, but love? No. So, there's a concept that's unfortunately become a thing for video game players ever since voice acting entered video gaming. And it's being embarrassed to play a video game when other people are in the room.
I'm waiting.
So I want you to imagine playing this. And yeah, just close your eyes and listen to this, and you'll understand why I make that point.
Not there. Ooh. 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 Stop that. Ooh.
Have I made my point yet?
Stop that. That's nice.
Yeah, just keep your eyes closed.
That's not it. Ah, there.
Yeah, imagine being the voice actress being told to voice these.
Not there. Ah, there.
There is a pattern to it. It's basic.
Where you grab, you klutz.
I think I just...
Do it again.
So now I have to do it again. So there's actually a pattern to this, but there's a little bit of RNG too.
You've got the wrong spot. That hurts! Ooh. Ow!
Yeah, I think this... If I get 2 blues in one round, that's probably a fail.
Good! Not quite. Stop that!
By the way, this is mandatory.
That hurts!
Wow, that's really bad RNG.
You're good!
Yikes. So you have 15 rounds to max out her satisfaction.
Where are you groping? Not quite. That's nice. Ah! There!
If I get a red, I'll be able to succeed at this and not have to do this a third time. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which one do I do? Because it's going to be pure RNG. So 1 through 9. Dawn says 6. Dream Whisperer says 1. Braglin says 5. Damashi says 9. I need at least some consensus. Come on, guys. Mr. Red says... Is everyone just going to pick a different number? Oh my god. Oh, there's 2 people picked 8.
That's nice.
And that's a fail.
Watch where you grab, you klutz. Do it again.
8 was not correct, so now I can blame Crazy Norse for failure. You have to succeed at this, by the way.
That hurts! Ah. That's not it. Oh! You've got the wrong...
So yeah, basically, wherever the red is connected to yellows, which is connected to greens, which is connected to blues. That's how this works.
Where are you groping? Ah. Oh! Oh! Oh, you're good!
So it does kind of lend itself towards RNG more than actual strategy. It's basically Battleship.
Ah! There!
And we win.
Not there. That is good. When did you get so good at this?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I didn't have headphones until like 2007 or so.
Nuji Wooji is such a manly man, don't you think? He can be blunt, but that makes the occasional smile all the more irresistible.
Yeah, obsession.
That godly smile. That's the whole reason I became a sphere hunter. Oh, if only there was some miracle sphere. Something that could make him truly happy. What I wouldn't give.
She fell asleep. Oh, I'm that good?
Where's Pain and Riku?
The boss fell asleep again. One massage and she's out like a light.
We've been waiting for her to, because she had something important to tell us.
We'll just have to keep waiting. In the meantime, you, go make sure the switch panel is working.
Okay.
Switch?
Oh, right. I'm an idiot and have no idea how to infiltrate.
The back of the living room! The same one as always!
I didn't think so. No, okay. Nope, okay. I always suggest Final Fantasy IV on the PC, the Steam version, as a first Final Fantasy. If that doesn't tickle you, you're probably not going to be interested in the series. If you don't have access to the PC, then it gets a lot trickier.
What does it do?
Huh? That's it? What a letdown!
Riku!
Whose idea was that?
Take it up with the boss.
Boss?
I've had this thing on too long. Let's change.
So anyways. And of course, the wallpaper in here is all her emblem. She has a lot of money to redecorate like this.
How's it going?
Brother!
Be quiet! This is a covert operation?
Yeah, imagine if he had called in the middle of the massage.
Over and out!
Ah, Riku! How dare you speak to your leader like that?
Oh, shut up already!
Hmm? Who's there? Ah! The Gullwings!
Uh-oh.
Not only is Brother horrible, he literally leads to us getting discovered. So I said I'd do Yuna, and so I shall. Oh, no I won't. Changed my mind. Won't do it. Oh, I forgot. The only way to write comedy is to make everyone stupid.
Taking a spin?
Actually, that's always pissed me off about Hollywood. Is that a lot of comedy stories have no idea how to write comedy other than by making people stupid. It irritates the crap out of me. I mean, it's like Neelix is a bad cook. Don't you get it? Isn't that funny? That's true, Crazy Norse, and that's almost as bad. But seriously, think about how much money she had to have to I just healed. To redecorate this entire area. It's okay, when they join the party, they're a lot better, Dream Whisperer. She has posters of herself up on the wall. Actually, I think this is Ormi's room, so never mind. Ormi has posters of her up on the wall. So that's actually worse somehow. There we go. I like how her hair goes white, too, here. So this is her ultimate.
A power too great to be bridled can only be set free.
As with the last one, left and right halves. This one's also interesting in that it has basically everything. It's kind of the best of the three in terms of just sheer usefulness. Like I said, it kind of grew on me because of how much I like her animations. I'll show off Riku's next. And Yeah, Pain gets a weird blade armor thing. Yuna turns into a Flora mage.
Now this is my kind of weapon. Who wants some?
Riku rides a giant mech. With missiles.
Activate Super Duper Mega Ultra Assault Mode!
Because of course it's missiles. No, seriously, like all its things are missiles. Oh yeah, she also puts on a bodysuit because... I don't know if you caught it, but she kicks her legs like a kid would. Like, you know, where she's just kind of kicking her legs back and forth as she lays on top of the thing. So that's a thing, too. I'm not judging either. It's actually kind of amusing to watch. Here's Logos' room. He also has a picture of LeBlanc, because why wouldn't he?
Hey, this isn't the sphere they stole, is it?
Let's watch it.
Who cares, Mr. Red?
Let's see. Total survivors of the final Crimson Squad selection. Exercise, 0. Zilch and Zipball. Job done.
You pinhead, did you even count? Look, there are bodies missing. There should be 3 more candidates and their recorder.
Your point?
3 plus 1 makes how many? 4 still live. Fix it.
Figures. Did you say something?
No, sir. Pay him no mind.
So yes, that is Ormi and Logos, who once upon a time were, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this as neatly and nicely as I can, because they were both dirty deeds people. They were part of the Crusaders, and their job was to help ensure that all of the people who were being recruited as part of Maester Keenock's power grab move all died. In case you missed that, just to make it clear, Maester Keenock recruited people and then wanted them all killed. There's a little more to it than that, but yeah, nice guy. Thank you, Gary. You suck. As usual. What's up, as they say. Listen, this game has a really fun gameplay. What do you want from me? But yeah, the light, bumbling, you know, Team Rocket guys used to be executors.
It's a dud.
Only naughty girls would scrounge through other people's bedrooms.
What about you? You're the ones who broke into our airship.
the boss's orders are permission enough.
Correct, Dream Whisperer. Pain, Barreleye, Gipple, and Nuge are the 4 who survived. We're gonna go ahead and heal. No, we're not. Oh god, we're not gonna heal. Oh god! Do I have the ability to heal? I do not. Okay, we'll do this.
Feeling lucky?
No, of course not Mitch Connor. Yeah, Keenock continues to be the most evil character in the setting, by a large margin. Go figure. There we go. Now we're good.
Feeling lucky, huh?
Thank you for the sub, Gary. If you happen to know where you want to put that, if you care, let me know. By the way, if you missed that, Excalibur did 480 damage. My average hits right now are doing about 150 or so.
Don't you just love surprises?
Just to give you an idea of why Excalibur is worthwhile. Why wouldn't there be, Cashel?
Don't you just love
Russia's everywhere.
I could get used to this.
I mean, it kind of is, Mr. F. This is not a pleasant place to be. Despite what the sugar coating might tell you. So this is my favorite trap in the whole game right here. Because you gotta think of the practicality of this, right? Or it could not trigger. Come on. Hang on. To be continued. This is the equivalent of getting dazed in World of Warcraft. Yeah, no kidding, Preachings. Like, he is just such a messed up guy. Here we go. So, that's just a thing. Why would... What is the point of this trap? Oh, whatever. Possible, Mr. Red. Remember, Orin himself had issues back in the day. It was his journey with Braska that made him open his eyes. Oh, right. I always forget this one. Yeah, Yunalesca is wrong in the head, and Keenock is just evil. What can you do? Seymour... I always find it amusing that Seymour... I mean, FF does that a lot. There's usually at least one person who is substantially more evil than whoever the main villain is. That goes back as far as FF4, if you think about it. With Luge, Dr. Luge. Then we had, well, I guess... I would argue Geshtal is worse than Kefka, but that's a matter of opinion, but I still argue that. Then we have Hojo in 7. Ultimecia may or may not qualify in 8, but there's also Adel, who is probably worse than her. So, you know. Am I seriously misremembering this? Then we have 9. 9's a weird one, because we never meet the most evil people in 9. Yes, brother is the most evil. No, dude. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's weird. But whatever. Yeah, in 12 it's the Okuria. There we go.
What time? Showtime.
In 13, Bartandalis probably qualifies. Or not Bartandalis, excuse me. Buna Velzebla probably qualifies. Then we have 15. Which, ironically, the most evil person in 15 is probably Buna Velzebla again. Although, Bahamut certainly qualifies. Spoilers.
Well, well.
Do you mind? I swear at some point I'll try something out other than Warrior, but Warrior's just so useful for a low-level playthrough, which is kind of what I'm doing. And I don't have access to the better jobs yet, so...
Ready? You betcha!
Mateus, you mean? That's actually a tough one. My knee-jerk reaction would be Shinryu, though. Shinryu is horrible. But how much of that is deliberate, willful intent is debatable.
It's gotta be in here, right?
Let's split up and look.
Lol, Zastel. Let's split up and look, and she just stares at this computer the entire time.
Found it. Huh? Now I get it. I was wondering why they'd bother stealing half a broken sphere.
Of course! They already had the other half!
Very good, loves. I went through a lot of trouble gathering those pieces, all for Noogie Woogie.
I don't like LeBlanc, but I have to give credit to her voice actress. She's certainly doing her role appropriately.
So don't you lay a finger on it. Let's get 'em, boys!
Yes, boss.
Time to clobber the robber.
Oh yeah, she has access to Not So Mighty Guard, so, you know, that's neat. This actually just occurred to me.
Get 'em, boys.
Our practice is finally gonna pay off!
Listen, Dream Whisperer.
What practice?
Hey, Permeus. So they actually have a triple tech, which would have made this game even better, by the way, if they added triple techs or double techs to this game.
Feeling lucky.
Probably job-based, because obviously you're always going to have the same 3 characters. Unless you use the creature creator and you're insane.
Nice knowing you. Get your act together!
For all the making fun I do, I actually kind of like the LeBlanc Syndicate. Mostly in a amusing, kind of a Team Rocket sort of a way. Alright, I need to pull back a little bit here.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Damn it. No. That was my fault for misclicking what just happened. So I'll take the ownership of that one.
Don't you just love surprises?
Here, catch!
Yeah, once they stop being against us, things work out a lot better for these guys. It's funny how that works out. The moment they stop opposing us, things start working out. Huh. I feel like I've said that before.
Such sweet sorrow. Goodbye, little girl.
No, I'm not Final Cloud. I'm fine. I'm just being a little cautious to make up for it. Oh god, Thanatos is kind of messed up in Secret of Mana, I'll give you that. Although Hojo would be pretty far up there across the FF series for me. Holy crap.
Well, want another helping of your just desserts?
No one's gonna hear you scream from down here.
Wait a second! I'll let you see what's in the sphere.
Let us?
Please, the sphere is yours to watch.
I mean, she's right. No one would ever hear them screaming down here. Hey, there's the charm bangle. We now have Ink Nun. Booyaka. We're not going to use it because we don't have... Well, this is not a New Game Plus. But on a New Game Plus, I tend to put on Ink Nun right at the beginning. Hey, look! It's a giant armed mecha that they built, set up, put into place, guard, and then never activated because they're idiots. Yeah, we'll see this thing full tilt when we get later on in the game, and you'll see the full breadth of how stupid this thing looks. Don't be fooled by the cool skull-looking thing. It's dumb. And controlled by an organ.
That is the Colossus, Vegna Gun. We finished our analysis of the sphere. It appears to have been recorded underneath Bavel.
I see Bavel hasn't lost its old fondness for secrets.
Exactly. Those Yevon scum have been concealing that weapon all along. If anyone uses that thing, Spira is done for.
Of course, Damashi. Why wouldn't I?
But it's a machina. All we have to do is shake our way up to it and take it apart.
That's what Nucci's got in mind. And of course, whatever he's planning is what I'm planning.
What about you?
Me?
The summoner who defeated Sin ought to stand up and defend Spira again. So, then I guess we're on the same side. We'll be waiting for you.
Waiting where?
Don't be silly, love. On your airship, of course. I've always wanted to take a spin on that thing.
I mean, in fairness, who in this world would not have wanted to fly around on a frickin' airship?
Ever heard of asking?
Like, I'm sure there's at least a couple people.
Sin is gone. The calm is here. I thought our peaceful days would never end. The eternal calm. I really believed it would last forever. Until now.
And then Sin gets resummoned because of bad writing.
I've realized how fragile it can be.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would, even though I don't like the design of that airship, I would totally love flying around in that thing for a bit. Just for fun, you know? Give me an hour. Woo! So they've now joined our side.
First things first, we are going to Bavel. Full speed ahead!
You just wait, Blondie. You know, what next?
She's off to save Spira, of course.
Right.
Uni.
Always getting herself dragged into trouble.
We're going to Bavel. There should be lots of spheres there, so why don't we hunt for them on the side?
Just admit it, love. You're a goody-goody.
I like how she takes that as an insult. I'm not a goody-goody. So we're locked in here, because this is end of chapter. Yes, we're about to end chapter 2.
It's obvious. We nab the head honcho. Then we make him lead us to Vegnagun and checkmate.
Not bad.
I got no problem with this. Our target is the new Yevon Praetor, Barrelai.
A girly man like that doesn't stand a chance without his escort.
You'd know.
Careful. He's much stronger than he looks. Company.
Who goes there?
The Gullwings!
Oh, the High Summoner! Please, forgive my rudeness.
This goes pretty differently if you choose the Youth League over New Yevon, by the way. Here we just walk in. Which actually amuses me. Just getting a few of these, no reason. Definitely not at the point of the game where I need to start worrying about status effects. Okay, we're good. I guess I'll go ahead and do this. Hey, could you take me to the end? Whee! Okay, here we go. I mean, don't you kidnap leaders of religious factions all the time, Speaker? That's pretty much a Tuesday for me. Yeah, as you might imagine, this is a lot less peaceful if you join the Youth League. Alright, whatever. Come on. Actually, I already answered that, Baron, but to repeat myself, if I had to choose between bad and worse, I'll go with bad. One of the things that personally irritates the ever-living crap out of me is when people are like, we need to have change! And so they institute violent revolution and with absolutely no plans for what's supposed to happen after. And invariably what happens afterwards is things get worse because they didn't have a plan for what happens after. I'm not going to get into real-life history, but that's happened plenty of times in real life. Never mind fiction. Rebellion against the Empire, excuse me. Hell, Star Wars had, God, what, like 4-ish years, real-life years of books and games and comics coming out discussing the fallout of A New Hope, or Return of the Jedi. Oh, now I gotta sit up. So I can say thank you, J. Maria Graywall. Very much appreciate the sub. Thank you. Fallout. How much of a mess was the... It was a big frickin' mess. There's a reason there's a 25-ish year period of just trying to acclimate to the new status quo. Ending with the Hand of Thrawn duology and actual peace and cooperation being designed between the Imperial Remnant and the New Republic. Because the New Republic was incredibly ill-suited for managing the galaxy, and it shows. And then in the AU, they decided to do something even stupider, and lo and behold, everything fell apart almost immediately. Go figure.
Really are a mess, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, what are fiends doing in the temple?
Fair,
Temples
Myron.
reek of secrets. Don't let a couple of fiends throw you.
It's okay, this place is much better this time around. And all it took to make it better was the fact that we can walk around on our own. Go figure. This place also has forced encounters. It's one of the only places with forced encounters in the game. So even if you have Ink None, you'll be fighting stuff here. So, J. Maria Graywall, I will answer your question if you tell me what you want to put that sub towards for increasing interest or priority in a future stream. I don't know, given what was going to happen with Sin, Cashel, maybe immediate and instantaneous destruction is better, you know? Just saying. I like the music in here, by the way. Sekiro is absolutely not on the list. How dare you recommend that? Everyone stab J. Maria Graywall immediately! All the stabs.
Effortless.
I actually saw that, Bregman. I also like the menu, just in general, better in 10.2 than in 10. A lot more intuitive for me. It's just a preference. Yeah, 1,000 years of oppression or instantaneous death. Take your pick. So anyways, J. Maria Graywall, in case you're not familiar with why I just had you stabbed, it's because we already did a run of Sekiro. So I can't really do a second run of Sekiro. Sorry. I like how they face the camera when they do this, like, hey, hey, hey! I love the holiday black mages there. So arcane magic can and has been used for healing, although it's usually fairly infrequent. There's also a trend that was started around Legion, which basically boils down to the idea that arcane plus druid equals true healing. Like, the ability to heal even above and beyond what normal healing can do. The idea of life being combined with order in order to accomplish that makes perfect sense, so I suppose that would be logical. But I point that out because, you know, that it is relevant to the idea of whether or not druids have anything to do with arcane. In addendum to that, however, I don't think Elune... Okay, rewind a second. Let's ignore BFA and Shadowlands, okay? Can we just do that for a second? Just bear with me. So if we're in the time of Legion, and you ask me what I think of Elune, I stand by the idea that Elune herself isn't Titan-related. Because she isn't, as far as I'm concerned. Now, they will probably rewrite that to make that a thing later, because... blah, 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 blah. But as of Legion, I would say fairly firmly that she has nothing to do with the Titans, or at best, is something more of a... let's call it a proto-Titan. Which is something that's entirely possible. No, but I just don't have any faith in the writers anymore, Baron. Which is why, at this point, Elune could be Aloa, for all I know. And it wouldn't even surprise me. Now, that being said, there is one very substantial difference between Elune and the Titans. The Titans are extremely overt. When they get involved in something, they just go whoosh, right? Like, right up in your face. The Titans are not subtle. They're patient, but they're not subtle. When the Titans say, this planet might need to have a bit of a readjustment, they destroy all life on the entire planet and convert it back into basic composite particles in order to reconstruct it into something. That's the Titans. Elune doesn't do that. Elune stays behind the curtain almost entirely. She will get personally involved, but only in very specific and careful moments here and there. For the most part, Elune is that subtle voice in the background. Now, you might say, well, that's like the old gods, right? Well, again, no, because the old gods are still far more overt in their overall approach. The old gods are insidious. The old gods infiltrate, but they do so overtly. Look at the Twilight's Hammer sometime and tell me that that's not overt. Or Deathwing. Elune's different, and that's my point. That would be so... that would easily be a negative by itself, Final Cloud. By the way, he just follows you around so you always have access to a vendor. Just little tiny bit of good game design there. Make sure you don't ever run out of items or anything like that. There's a lot of good game design decisions in this game. Plus to gameplay. Hang on, have I given a plus to gameplay lately? Let's see here. Must give more pluses to gameplay. I am going to start building an aggregate, though. I did give it a plus for UI design, yes. So what you're saying, Crazy Norse, is that this game rocks. I agree. So check it out. This is where Bahamut was. Emphasis on the past tense. This is when the plot starts to lose me a little bit. My opinion on this has changed bit by bit over the years. Because originally I thought this is when the main plot started, and therefore when the story got good. With the advantage of replays, I've completely flipped that opinion. I actually don't care for the main plot of this game all that much. I think it's unnecessarily large in scale and scope. Oh my gosh, we have to save the world again. Instead, I actually really enjoyed the political manipulations and machinations that were going on, as well as the world building and ground level issues that we were running around solving. But no, we have to have an end of the world threat. I'm just going to go and tell you right now, that hole goes all the way down to the far plane, because again, remember, the far plane is not really the afterlife. It is a physically accessible location within Spira, within the planet. So they can if you just physically tunneled down, like this, you would eventually reach the far plane.
Let's go.
No, Baron. The very existence of Vegnagun is almost guaranteed to be a story negative. No, we're not in the far plane yet. We'll get there. We will. How did she jump? Never mind. Why wouldn't I include a super weapon? Because I enjoy, because I've been a fan of Star Wars for 20 years, or 30 years, or however long it's been at this point. So yeah, this is all under Bevel. I want you to think of the scale and scope of this thing. We were talking about FF7 earlier. Remember Deep Core, or Deep Ground, or whatever it is? This is huge! This is huge! And remember, this is under Bevel. How far down do they have to burrow just to make the space for this place? Well, also, I don't like super weapons in general, Baron, because they serve more of a narrative point than anything else. Basically, super weapons form a single point of failure.
I don't take orders. But I'll make an exception this time. Leave it to us, love.
So anyways, as I was trying to say... It was Deep Ground, okay. I was remembering correctly. As I was trying to say, a super weapon is a singular point of failure. In other words, it is one thing the heroes can defeat to save the day. And from a narrative perspective, that feels a little bit too... to me, you know? Yeah, it's a little too clean. That's a good way to put that. We defeat the bad guy and then we win, you know? Don't mistake me. There's a value to a simple story, and I'm not saying there isn't. But if you ask me my preference, I would prefer a complex story. That's just me, though.
Hey! Wait! It's us! The Gullwings!
I don't think they care.
And that's another thing. Super weapons mean you can destroy it without guilt. That's very valid. Vegnagun was made basically alongside Sin. In fact, the whole point, narratively speaking, is that Vegnagun is the mechanical version of Sin. The horrible irony and difference is that when they built Vegnagun, they said, hang on. This is a terrible idea. We shouldn't actually release this thing. However, when they built Sin, they were like, this is a totally great idea, let's go ahead and release this thing. And thus, the world was devastated for 1,000 years. So, point for the Machina people. I forget how to do this puzzle. If Vegnagun was released but Sin wasn't, then the continent would be destroyed. We know this because we literally see what happens when that happens. It's the bad ending of this game. So Shuyin was a member of Zanarkand, and he was in love. He had a crush on a girl named Len, who was a very skilled summoner. Now, Len was part of the front lines because Zanarkand was at war with Bevel. So Len was being sent to the front lines in order to defeat Bevel and die in the process. So Shuyin's like, no! And he decides to go activate Vegnagun, which he somehow found out about, in order to destroy everything. Or maybe he was sufficiently stupid that he thought he could control it, which is actually more likely. Now, to be clear, and I'm going to make this very clear, that was Shuyin's motivations, not the villain of this game. Because the villain of this game is not Shuyin. It's a narrative point the game doesn't make as clear as it probably should. Vignagun was built by Bavel. Sin was summoned by Xanarkand, Crazy Norse. Now there's some extra layers to that, but two completely separate factions. And they were at war, because of course they were. It's also worth noting Sin was more the idea of an individual than an idea of a faction. Yevon was like, I'm going to make Sin, it's going to be a great idea. And it really, really, really didn't work out well. So I'm going to do all of these because it gets me a dress sphere, I'm almost positive, in case you're wondering what I'm doing. What were they at war over? Who cares? Who's the true villain of this game? That's an interesting question. So you notice how I just saved Riku's life there? That's how the timing matters when it comes to attacks. So there's two definitions of the word villain, as we've actually discussed when it comes to FF10. There's the main character, who is a villainous character. In FF10, that would be Seymour. In this game, that would be Shuyin 2. We'll just, for the sake of simplicity, we'll call him Shuyin 2. But in FF10, the actual villain was the Cycle. No specific individual, although certain individuals were making it worse. Cough, cough, Mika. Cough, cough, Keenock. I should probably do that. That's a good idea. So yeah, in this game, Shuyin 2 is definitely the character, but the actual villain, that's a little trickier, considering... I know this is going to sound strange, but I would say the closest thing to actual villain in 2 is lack of communication. Which I know sounds like a strange thing, but think about how important proper communication is for a second. And really process what it's like. Because almost all of the problems that happen in this game happen because people aren't talking to everyone else. I mean, it's made worse because of Shuyin 2 and him possessing people, don't mistake me, but still. You remember this thing? It was a tutorial encounter at the very beginning of FF10. That wouldn't even surprise me, Baron. Look at this, look at this. Yeah. Or people who talk a lot and say little. J. Maria Graywall. Like me! I don't have that yet, do I? Oh, I do, I do. What are you putting in them, Baron? You know one thing I really do like about this game more than FF10? 100 damage is a lot of damage. I like that. Smaller numbers, you know? Someone earlier mentioned that the oversold Tonberries have, I think it's 40,000 health. It's like 36,000 or something. And people are probably like, that's it? 36,000? That's a lot of health in this game. That is not an easy encounter. When we get to the end of the game, we might be doing a couple thousand damage each hit. Maybe. And that's with the Dark Knight, which is overpowered as hell. So I'll admit, I've always had a bit of a headcanon for why exactly the old Bevelle and old Xanarkand went to war. And that headcanon's really stupid, but I'll share it with you because screw you. Basically, the idea was that there was an ideological variance between Xanarkand and Bevelle, because one was heavily leaning on magic and magitech, and the other was leaning heavily on machina. Obvious, right? But the two weren't actually at war, they were just basically in competition with each other to the point of being a Cold War. Then something happened, like it often does, and the Cold War went hot. Basically, you know all those times we managed to avoid the Cold War going hot in real life? Well, one of those times, they failed at managing that, and that's why it escalated so rapidly, is because they were already ready for war. Like, before the war actually started. What do you mean, Jamie? Oh, yes, that is me. I must go to war with all larger numbers. I must all die. By the way, quick little note, which I actually like. You'll notice the White Mage literally does not actually have the ability to physically attack the enemy. Instead of melee damage, they use prey. Just a nice little touch, and it helps with the classes in this game, because they're more hyper-specialized than in other games. Like, even in FF5, a White Mage can still whap you with a staff, right? That's false equivalence, Loner. And I don't want to get into that for real. I really wish I could use that, but I'm not gonna. We're just gonna slow mode this and play it safe. Which we did. Yeah, White Mage and 2 Dark Knights is a very fun combo. I'm so sorry for all the drinking you're gonna do, J. Maria Graywall. Hang on. Over here. Oh yeah, by the way, you can also increase encounters in this game. I think I am going to go with that. Put that on her. I think that's all of them? Yep, that's all of them. Okay. Oh my god. Camera angles. Ah, jeez. There we go. Are those sunglasses on the coin, Final Cloud? 2 of them are. J. Maria Graywall. Unabashedly. Why isn't it letting me jump off? Yes, the coin flipping is now cool, guys. Why isn't it letting me jump? I also didn't do it right, so I'm not going to access the extra sphere. So that's wonderful. Alright, let's try it again. Let's just try each of them, I guess. I'll left wall it. I don't even remember what I'm not going to get as a result of doing this wrong. There we go. Jeez Louise. Camera angles. It's a shame. I was actually trying to get it, but I forgot you had to do it in the right order. Because walkthroughs! By the way, this is the entire appearance of the Via Infinito. So I hope you get used to this if you want to do that. I know, right? Oh, we just had a... Okay. Nah, it shouldn't be too bad. How, Myron? I'm pretty sure that's a dress sphere, and I'd rather not miss it. Well, you can New Game Plus, Mr. Red. And I think you can come back down later. In fact, I know you can, because you have to... Well, you don't have to, but... No? Maybe you can't. It's Firefly Rich. That's true. That is a truth. Oh yeah, let's see if Myron's lying to me. If Myron's lying to me, you know what we must do. There will be endless death in his future, but for the moment. Yeah, because we are just apparently Superman. Look at those jumps. Yes, we can turn him into a... Okay, that did nothing. Oh god, if I miss out on the Dark Knight dress sphere... hi again. To my knowledge, no, Crazy Norse. That wasn't part of his programming. Exactly, Daxis. You shouldn't understand. Okay, let's magic break this guy. And armor break while we're at it. Hurry! We're falling behind here. Someone help me out. There's something in here, and I don't remember what. And I do remember that I want it, but I guess I don't care. Because this is a review, not a 100% run. Okay, that did move it, so okay. Looks like Myron wasn't lying, guys. Yeah, Sin's not even a VI. Sin's bare bones, bare level, like, basic notepad programming. Super low tier. Yeah, Sin is a worm eating leaves. That's about how much intellect and programming there is in that thing. Ironically, Vegnagun is the exact same thing in terms of intellectual sophistication. Or did I say Sin? Vegnagun. Vegnagun is the same as Sin in terms of intellectual sophistication. Destroy whatever's nearby. Kill everything. Pretty simple. Okay, so let's do this. This. Or land, that's cool. That's exactly what I wanted to happen, really. Hey, Melkor. What's up? Oh yeah, you can hold down A in this one. To go back to our convenience features we've been discussing as we go through this series. Do it again? You know what? I don't care that much. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. If it's not Dark Knight, I don't care. A little over 1,000 years old, Baron. Give or take. I swear this is a good game, Melkor Blade. It's just not a great story, and it also has Brother in it. So you may have to deal with that. Well, yeah, Baron. Wouldn't you just keep a giant mech bay of doom? What's funny is, if you think about this place... There's two things that irritate the hell out of me about this place. The first is the fact that they just kept Vegnagun down here. And, you know, duh. But the other is, like, it's this absolutely gargantuanly huge place that they never properly explained. And my headcanon has always been that this is their power plant. This is how Bavel manages to power itself. However, that is headcanon. You'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. At least I'm pretty sure that's in this section. Come on. Well, it's been lasting for 1,000 years with very little maintenance, so make of that whatever you will. It's a pretty efficient generator either way. Remind me to check her white mage in a minute. Yeah, actually, funny thing here. Give it a second. So she can actually attack if she's berserked. I just wanted to show that off really quick. Her physical stats are in the garbage, though. I mean, of course they are. Okay, good. She is learning Cura. That's exactly what I wanted. You can also... So, most of the jobs have these things. You notice there's charge time for casting? Well, you get abilities you can learn in order to passively reduce the charge time for casting, which is usually pretty worthwhile. Yes, Melkor Blade. Any movement counts for encounter steps in this game, whether in midair or not. So here's the power plant, or what I headcanon to be the power plant. They never explain what this is, so... whatever you want to think of this, that's on you.
Uni! That sphere with you-know-who in it. Wasn't it recorded here?
Now those are prisons.
Get your head out of the clouds and move it!
Prison cells. But, like, what is it doing? And why is it rotating with nobody in the cells? Come on, game, you have good world building.
Everything is connected. I can feel it.
Anyway, it says this is a prison facility, as you can see. Considering that prisoners are pyreflies and pyreflies can be power, that's the headcanon. So you notice Ormy is actually recording everything. Just a very, very small point there. But yeah, imagine if in FF7 you could rip the life stream out of people. That kind of idea. Probably heal. No, we're not going to talk about FF7 at all. We're actually skipping FF7 for this run, because nobody actually likes that game. And it's totally overrated. At least that's what the internet keeps telling me. Yeah, no, sorry guys. I think FF7's a good game. Shocking, I know, but there it is. No. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Actually, yeah, Damashi, that's a good parallel to the idea. There's Kira. Sorry, Cashel. FF7 is probably a good game. There's a pretty good chance it's going to get a lot of positives. Sorry. That would sound like Bevel. They just left the machine moving for some frickin' reason. They probably didn't even know how to turn it off. Brother's worse. Wait, popular things are bad? That would explain why I don't like anime. What, Myron? Hang on, what are you talking about, Myron? All eyes turn towards Myron. The entire stream is frozen. I'm just gonna freeze the stream until Myron responds. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yep, Sekiro is now a terrible game. Sorry, guys. Chest where you use the lift. Well, that's extremely uninformative. Everyone stab Myron for me. Stab, 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 stab. Yes, holiday stabs. We need holiday stabs. What is that sword? Yeah. You know what? Hang on a second. I have ink none. Find it. There it is. Hey, look, we just turned off encounters. I'm sorry, so it says I'm supposed to go... Return down the hallway, ignore the elevator I rode up on, jump down to the 3-slipper platform. Unless... this looks a lot like the 3-slipper platform to me. But then it says take the middle elevator, which I, of course, cannot do. Won't let me. So go down here. I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Moving on. Moving on. It'll be interesting to see what I get without any kind of walkthrough, because that is a problem this game has. I'm going to save. There, the Dark Knight is gone forever, ne'er to return. Come on, Yuna, you can make that jump. You can make that jump, Yuna. Ah, whatever, screw it. Don't care. Guess we're doing Warrior all the way to the end at that point. Because I'm not getting Lady Luck and I'm not getting Dark Knight, apparently.
The gull wings. I was wondering who was there. You don't have to tell me. I know why you've come. You're here to destroy the weapon that threatens all Spira, Vegnagun. Am I right? If it could be destroyed, we would have done so long ago. But Vegnagun must not be touched. Neither you nor Nuge seem to understand that.
You talked to Nuge?
He cannot be trusted.
And you can be?
Touché. Yes, I suppose Yevon has brought that distrust upon itself. At any rate, you need not interfere. Leave Vegnagun to me.
What are you planning to do?
The only thing I can do. Keep those who would seek to harm Vegnagun away. Please leave.
Yuna. Riku. I'm going.
Pain.
What are you doing?
What is this music?
Sorry. I'm going ahead.
You have your reasons.
Fill us in later, okay?
Much later.
Wait up!
With so many things woven together, what could be waiting where the threads meet?
Vegnagun. Or wait. While we're here, I should take this bag off. Actually, I'm kind of curious of some. Sort of idly. I love how there's no music playing right now. Why is it still... Whatever. Okay, just checking something. Don't mind me. No, it's really quiet. Holy crap. Ah, crap. There we go. This is surprisingly hard to control. That was sarcasm. That was super sarcasm. Yeah, I get that, but the guide makes absolutely no sense, which is why I'm kind of irritable here. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell it wants me to do. Maybe if I do this one and not that one? Yeah, I got that email too, Ventures. I can't wait to play Warcraft 3, not a remake, because screw you. No, wait, that was actually the right spot. Yeah, I can only expect so much of Game Facts, I know. We'll see when the game comes out, but everything I am aware of as of this moment says that it's going to be a remaster, not a remake. Which I have, frankly, very, very little interest in. I'll still play it. It's my job. But yeah, I'm not excited anymore. If I wanted to play Warcraft 3, I could. Like right now. It works just fine as is, you know? Okay. We're done, Baron. I really wanted to get Dark Knight. And I was curious if I could just bungle my way to victory. And I could. Go figure. Equip the no ink thing. I've always found it funny. Usually I should save. Well, why is Dark Knight good? Well, you see, the Joker's in it, and that's usually a... Now we have a boss fight coming up. So this is where Vegnagun was, past tense. Hey Bahamut, what's up?
No way!
What is it?
It's an Aeon!
I killed both of you back in the last game.
An Aeon.
You must stop! You want to get killed? We have no choice. Fight! You have to!
I like the music that plays for this, by the way. So this is Dark Knight. There kind of is Crazy Norse. So Dark Knight is your typical use your own HP to hurt the enemy thing, but all the attacks are pretty damn strong. Notice Darkness does 500 damage at my level. It's also an AoE, if you didn't catch that. And yeah, now we're using Khalidblog, or however you're supposed to say that word. I may have to actually start healing for real here in a second. Hold down A because I need as fast of timing as I can. Might have already taken too long. Top off there. I'm gonna laugh if I die to this. Shouldn't. We'll see. Oh, we're okay. But yeah, think of a D&D paladin with abilities that do tons of damage that are very little in the game actually resists, and that's a Dark Knight. The only real downside to a Dark Knight, other than the fact that it's an optional job, is that you burn health to do all those things. But there's lots of ways around that. Yeah, like a white mage is what I'm doing right now. Later on I'll have the equipment set up necessary to be able to do 3 Dark Knights, but right now I kind of need that extra healing. Well, imagine a D&D paladin, but better. There we go. Yeah, there's no real red mage on this one. Or sage, for that matter.
Why is this happening? I wish you were here with me. Thank you, Pain. You were right. We had to fight it, didn't we?
Poor Yuna. So the Faith are being influenced by the Shuyin 2, and that's why the Aeons are back, but dark. Simple answer.
This hole was made recently.
You think it was Vegnagun? Unreal. How deep do you think it goes?
To the far plane. Also, Mickey Mouse was here.
What? Where's Vegnagun?
Not here.
It must have fled in terror, knowing I was coming.
I don't think so.
I must report to Nuji Wuji at once. Boys, record this. Don't miss a single detail.
Yes, boss.
Vegnagun. Was it really here?
This isn't how it was supposed to be. The eternal calm. I can feel it crumbling, falling away from beneath our feet.
Yona! We are in Super Tutu! Get back to Celsius on the devil!
Chapter 2 complete. So this is the Fiend chapter. Hope you like the combat, because you're going to see a bunch of it in this one. It's okay, I like the combat, so... No, I agree. It doesn't make a lot of sense, Myron, but whatever. I mean...
Trouble, and I mean big time. Fiends are pouring out
You don't know who Brother is, Baron?
the temples.
Which ones?
Only all of them! It's a freaking state of the emergency. What should we do? Is it Gullwing time?
Not exactly sphere hunter work.
True. But seeing Yuna out there could calm people down.
They'll expect her to do the dirty work.
Yeah, but Uni wants to help, don't you?
Oh.
Hey, I got an idea! We could be your friendly neighborhood Gullwings!
You mean taking out fiends and charging for it?
Mega!
What do you think?
Well, why not? If that means we can help out people who are in trouble, then sure.
Right! That means sphere hunting's on hold! Your friendly neighborhood Gullwings!
It's decided! Where to?
Wait a sec.
Ren, no Eve!
What could this mean? Maven Nuge of the Youth League. And Barrelite Praetor of New Yevon gone. They've disappeared.
Fascinating. All right, never mind. Now, friendly neighboring Gullwings, where to?
Alright, never mind. So, I like this for Chapter 3. Hotspot, hotspot, hotspot. There's gonna be even more hotspots in a minute, but yeah. And by a minute, I mean, like, tomorrow. Anyways. I need to do this really quick. There we go. So yeah, we have now switched to Merc work, which is funny because you'd think we would have had that idea earlier, but whatever. I was gonna do something and I don't remember what. Right, I need to make sure we're learning the right stuff. As tempting as that is, no, we'll get the proofs first. Yeah, that's brother. We'll get Charon later. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there, Mr. Red. Why don't we go there right now? And talk to the most irritating character in the... well, second most irritating character in the entire game. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Oh, whatever. So, very small point. He's running around laying spheres. If I'm not mistaken, unless you actually see the cutscene of him putting down the spheres, you don't have access to that sphere in Chapter 4. You'll see what I mean if you've never seen it before, but yeah. Hey, Lulu. You look incredibly pregnant.
The fiends?
They're coming from inside the temple. But it's all right. Waka and the others fought them off. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Guess your friendly neighborhood Gullwings won't be needed.
Any fiends they missed may still be wandering around. Waka and the rest split up to track them down. Give them a hand.
The Gullwings are on the job. We'll even give you our special bargain price.
That's nice.
Sorry, Lulu.
Yeah, sorry. We gotta charge.
Now go. Take a look around.
We gotta eat too, you know.
People in the village will feel better knowing you're here, Yuna.
Also, if you think about it, it's probably really expensive to keep the Celsius in the air, so...
What you up to?
Installing a comm sphere. You never know when you might need a comm sphere.
A new invention of yours?
Shindra, did you fall and get a poo-poo?
Here's the perfect guinea pig.
Oh, I can see Yuna!
The comm sphere transmits an image back to the airship.
Oh, neat.
Oh! More! More!
How asinine.
Uni! Uni! Something's up!
What's there to decide, Waka? We can finish off the fiends right here and now.
Ah, burning down a temple is going too far.
Also, it's made of stone.
You have another suggestion?
Ah!
We have to do something. What if the fiends keep coming? Or maybe you don't mind putting your family in danger.
Hey, all we gotta do is stop the fiends, yeah?
Listen, we need to burn the cat past. Kill it if you have to. I hate Becklin. I'm sorry. I don't care how much of a point you have. If you're a dick, screw you. Also very true, Mr. Red. But no, blowing up the temple will totally fix things. Excuse me, it's not even blowing up, it's burning down, which is even stupider, but whatever.
Waka's inside, fighting fiends.
That's the Youth League in a nutshell, isn't it? Huh. There's enemies coming through here. Let's blow it up!
It would be so simple to burn this place down and take the fiends with it.
Yeah, no. See, that really is the Youth League in a nutshell right there. Short-term solutions that won't work for long-term problems.
Praying to them never did anyone any good. You're the one who destroyed Sin. You should know. Going to help him? I won't wait much longer.
You want to see it burn that badly?
It's for the safety of the village.
Yes, he does. So, Vigilant. The lore reason for the stupid run animation is she's depressed and trying not to show it, so she's trying to show that she's lighthearted and bubbly and happy when she's really not. Okay, time to do the cloister, guys. No, I'm kidding. It's much better this time around. Why would we do a cloister puzzle? It's just stupid. You'll notice one of the first spells Dark Knights get is Drain, by the way. Draining HP to refill theirs. Going back to that whole ways to deal with the HP cost thing. There's a lot of puzzles in Tentu, but there are no cloisters, no. I mean, I'm not really kidding, Vigilant. That is pretty much the lore reason for why she's flailing like she is.
Waka! You okay?
Just a few scratches, huh? Nothing to worry about.
There are too many. Let's get out while we can. The man was right. We have to use fire.
You're an idiot.
Whatever's controlling the fiends must be down there. Take that bad boy out.
And we won't need fire.
Fair enough.
Waka, stay here.
Why?
Because you haven't fought anything in 2 years.
Wouldn't want you to overdo it, Daddy.
Hey, wait up!
Although, credit to Waka, he does have the right idea here, and he is right. Go figure. Can we go? Oh my god. I'm just gonna keep praying while I wait for them to finish their animations here. Waka continues to be MVP. He is the man. Well, the irony is there actually is a boss. It's just not someone we really want to see. Hi, Valefor.
An Aeon?
No, something's not right.
I mean, it is an Aeon.
Waka, stay back! It's not safe!
The problem is what's effectively happening here is Shuyin 2 is summoning. And there's really no logical reason why Shuyin 2 suddenly has the ability to summon. Oh god, Mr. Red's back. Hang on, where's my cheats? It's okay, as long as you don't block access to the town, I'm okay, Mr. Red. I don't like this song. I don't like any of these songs. Oh yeah, we never decided where we're putting that story, that negative to music. Because I've decided I'm going to give a negative to music. If nothing else, obviously I actively don't like quite a few of these songs. But there's also the fact that a lot of them are very misused. So, that needs to be addressed. He's using a summoner's... I mean, maybe Dream Whisperer, I don't know. But the game never bothers to try and explain how Shuyin 2 suddenly has the ability to summon. Because remember, a Faith cannot summon an Aeon in its own right. And a Faith can only be the conduit through which a summoner summons an Aeon. I know, right, Baron? A little bit behind. We'll go ahead and switch to this. There we go. Let's just say, can we get this going on? Yes, you can, Ventures. That is true. But don't get too greedy. I need to look up some other options for what to set those as, because shrug. But yeah, the final reason these are good is they basically hit as hard as warriors, so good physical damage in addition to the extra abilities they have. Oh, I have Kiraga now. Woo. Is that a Christmas Frostmourne? Wow. You can probably see why I wanted to get Dark Knight. It's pretty much going to ensure the rest of this run will never need any kind of cheats or leveling, because we'll be fine. Which is fine, because I figured it wouldn't. But, you know. You notice, by the way, Prey is extremely quick. No cast time and very short recovery time. So you can rapid-fire Prey, which is what I've been doing. That's the thing that kind of helps it to be better than heals in usual circumstances. It obviously won't catch up with real damage. Which is why every now and again you need to toss out a Kiraga. But it's basically a free regen. Well, I say free. You lose a character to do it. Sorry, Mr. Red.
That was my very first Aeon. I grew up here in Besaid. This is my home. I became a summoner here. This is where I first met you. I have to protect this place.
Nice little side point there.
The job's done.
I see. Glad to see you're not hurt. Or are you? Aren't you going to be a father soon? What if something had happened to you? What then?
Quiet, meanie!
It's okay. What can I say? He's got a point.
He does.
Waka.
He's still a dick.
If we die trying to save one memory, we risk losing them all.
But what if it's a really important memory?
Yeah,
memories are nice, but that's all that they are.
It's an outbed saying, yeah?
Well, yeah, but...
And a nice callback to the Waka and Riku interactions they had back in 10.
Yuna, you alright?
Yeah, just fine.
I'll be waiting.
Talk about a one-track mind.
Memories are just memories, yeah? If fiends ever come out of the temple again, I may really have to burn it.
I guess so. But call me before you do. We'll save fire for our last resort.
You got it.
By the way, not to comment on this, but you notice how Shinra is quietly building a continent-wide communications network? It's fairly low-key and low-tech and limited in throughput, but this is the first time the continent's going to be able to access the rest of the continent basically instantly. All because Shinra is putting those spheres as we go. And I know what you're thinking, Lore, you're just an idiot. No, this is a great idea, actually. Like, this is such a cool idea. I'm glad they bothered to make that point. So I meant to... Yep, that's what I thought. That was a good scene. I actually agree with you, Damashi. Might be... You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna give a plus to Waka. Any objections? All joking aside, as with the first game, pretty much all of Waka's scenes are just gold in this one. And that's not the first Waka scene. In fact, it's the third Waka scene we've had. And it was good stuff. They've all been good stuff. And that's the point. Let's do it, Final Cloud. Let's kill brother! Wait. Yeah, I'm with you, Mr. Red. Waka's fantastic. Waka was my favorite character in 10, and he continues to be a good character in 10, too. He even remains wonderfully human, showing that they do know how to write the same character again without assassinating them. I mean, you'll notice Wonka is still a changed man, but he's still the same flawed human.
Give us a straight answer. Where is Praetor Barreline?
I think Wonka would be a good father, if for no other reason than that he has a good core. And that would basically dictate how he acts around his children.
Do you plan on keeping this even from us?
We're not keeping anything from anybody. He's really disappeared.
Hey, say what you want. You're not pulling the wool over my eyes. You must know what's really happened to him.
I can't tell you what I don't know. We don't have time to fight with each other. Not with the Youth League breathing down our necks.
Don't try to change the subject.
Besides, how can we hope to stand against the Youth League without the Praetor?
I remind you that they were supposed to have a council leadership, but as we're seeing, it was a little more dictatory than they were willing to admit.
If you still wants to play games, then we'll just have to make you talk.
As soon as Barreli's gone, they're at each other's throats. Some organization.
It's probably worth noting that one of the interesting story points is that neither of the two organizations have a real political platform. Never mind an ideological platform. The New Yevonites are the people who are like, I don't know what to frickin' do now, so I'm gonna kind of just keep on keeping on. And the Youth League are change without any plan or thought in mind. There's no real platform there, right? It's not like, I think we should, move forward with, renewable energy sources. Yeah, they're both knee-jerk reactions. That's exactly right. It's why, and we'll see this in a minute, it's why both organizations fall apart the instant their leaders vanish. Because the only thing that was keeping them together was Nuge and Barrel Eye.
Should we do something?
Well, there aren't any fiends here.
If we butt in, things will just get worse.
Yeah, we're up to 15 camera passes of the Celsius now. There's gonna be a lot more of those, too. Well, that's not true. We'll probably do most of them. They're getting what they deserve for relying too much on Barrel Eye. Hard to argue. I'm only running 2 right now, Mr. Red. Let's go ahead and set up some comm spheres. Oh yeah, we need to try out Sphere Break, too. And show you why I hate it. It'd be nice if I get Lady Luck, because that is my favorite dress sphere in this game.
No reports of fiend activity here. Guess there's no guild to be made in Luca.
Possibly Daxiath?
About some kind of sphere breaking contest.
That's Sphere Break. You should enter. The grand prize is a dress sphere.
Yeah.
Great! I've been practicing.
Well, let's go take a look.
Yeah, the grand prize is Lady Luck. I really do believe this is the most useful of the dress spheres. Whether it's the best or not is debatable. Remember, just about every job is useful to some extent or another. But Lady Luck comes with the high crit chance, increased gil gain, and increased experience gain baked into it. Which is that one of the new ones, Byron?
Anywhere in Luca without hearing about Sphere Break. And now it's just about time for the competition to get underway. But first, a word from our sponsor, Lord Rin.
Lord Rin.
From Lucy.
So Rin's done well for himself. He was the only one with any kind of he was the only rich guy in FF10. The only person who actually had, investments and multiple stations and blah, blah, blah. And as you can see, he has leveraged that to this.
I am looking forward to a fair competition.
Real quick, you see the kid with the Titus pants? I actually like that. It's one of the few new outfits, and it kind of shows how Titus's or Jecht's cosmetic style kind of became a fashion thing, I wish we actually saw more of that, to be honest with you.
May the best man win!
Go time!
Good night, Hermes.
Good milk do we!
What is she doing? Well, where's the save? I hate Sphere Break. I hate it so much. There's no save. Alright, whatever. Let's go. I can remember how to play. There we go. So this is Sphere Break. It's a math game. It's also really hard for me to read those frickin' icons. There's actually, back in the day, there was a, and I say back in the day, I mean about 3 years ago, which is the last time I really played this game without cheats. There was a website that you could go to and you could punch in the numbers and it would tell you what to pick in order to win. I don't even remember the rules on this one anymore. Let's do... Oh, right. 3. And then 4. I hope you're all catching all this. If you're not, screw you. That's... Is that a 7? God, I can't even tell. It's about multiples, by the way, if you didn't catch that. Yeah, no, yellow refresh the outside. Outside count for the quota. If memory serves, which it does. You also have a timer while doing this. I also have a turn limit in addition to a time limit, so, you know, screw you on that one. I'll need to refresh. Yeah, you really need to raise the echo bonus, which I don't actually remember how to do. So that's fun. So anyways, this kind of sucks. I can actually pause with that. So, let's see here. Totally not cheating. Wink, wink. Trying to cheat. Oh god, is it not going to let me cheat? No! Must cheat. There we go. Well, that didn't work. Hang on. But there's a bunch of people you can play, and they're varying difficulties, and they all have different rules, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm all for a game that's all about math. I just hate this game and everything about it. Except for the math part. Okay, let's see what happens if I do this. I win! Woo! Cheats activated. What? Yeah, Shinra's match is a brutal match. These are all just tutorial matches, basically. I win! He's just a kid. Of course, everyone's into this, because of course they are. This whole world is kind of, you know, I don't know what to call that. Latest trend culture. Hey, it's one of my Blitzball players. Look, I am incredible at math. I'm so good at math, I could just win the game instantly. Because I have the power of reality altering. Yeah, imagine introducing these people to real video games. Seriously. Hey, I found this game. It's called Civilization 2.
I was so close.
Oh my god.
Who beat you?
Cheat engine, Myron.
It's elementary, really, once you get the hang of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Once I outplay Yuna, the tournament is mine.
Get him, Yuna!
You're going down.
Hey, who girl?
You'll win is slim at best.
That's true. He is mean. You need to, his quota is 50. That means getting 50 outer coins throughout the course of his fight. With a short timer and a mean variable. Whoops. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, I suddenly can't cheat, so I need to do the rest of this legit. Just to prove I do actually know how to play the damn thing.
I won!
My goggles fogged up.
And the winner of the first Sphere Break tournament is... High Summoner Yuna!
Her first name is High Summoner? Oh, I do too, Pitkiss. That's why I wasn't screwing around this time.
Award is our sponsor, Lord Rin!
He's still Lord.
Look me, Dimiduk.
You could call me President.
Thank you.
Or Supreme Master if you want. Confetti. Lady Luck. So we're going to be using that a lot. In fact, we're going to be bouncing between Lady Luck and Dark Knight almost exclusively. So what we're going to do... Good night, Loner. And good night, Damashi. Everyone's going to bed. I guess it is about time for me to cut off for the night. Poor Shalinda. Well, we have Ink Nun. Oh yeah, I should show something off here really quick. So, Lady Luck. So we start off with nothing. So you can roll dice, spin slots, raise your luck, or just, you know, go straight for the double experience. Which is what we're doing. Treasure Trove. I can't wait to play that. Don't mistake me, I'm enjoying the FFs, but man, I can't wait to play Treasure Trove. Trying to think what I have time left to do tonight. So now I have to say I cheated, but it's okay, because I cheated at Sphere Break, and I don't feel bad about that at all. Why is there a monkey cry whenever you go onto the ship? So I don't want to do Kilika yet. That's going to be a little bit. Yep.
It probably doesn't have anything to do with the temples or the fiends, but there have been problems here, too. Seems some Machina are on the rampage.
Let's mangle those Machina and take the reward!
Yuna?
Funny.
Okay, sounds like it's mission time.
Kill all the Machina. So if I'm not mistaken, the reward changes based on how many of the Machina you take out and how many the Alved take out. Why is there a monkey rich on the bridge? So we're all Dark Knights, right? Dark Knights are awesome. But you know what's even more awesome? The only thing I don't like about Lady Luck is the outfits. I like the weapon, though. They wield cards. And I know I'm a weirdo, but I've always liked cards as a weapon. Probably goes back to Gambit, but, you know, whatever.
Don't think it's just a game. Your life is on the line.
God, she's actually wearing more armor here, or clothing, than she is in her normal bikini.
Live or die by the roll of the dice. Exciting, no?
So, the way Lady Luck works is they don't do a lot of damage, but they attack multiple times and they have a high crit rate. So they're actually a surprisingly decent physical class, although it usually relies on equipment to make them get the extra bit there they need to get, because, yeah. Right now, all I have is attack reels, which is exactly what it sounds like. I have a feeling you're making fun of me, Huthor. I don't know, call it a wild hunch. Please don't kill her, thank you.
Oh, I thought we were done for.
Ironically, the plot, the real plot, is one of the things I dislike most about this game. The story of it, anyways.
I'm on a roll.
Oh yeah, by the way, with that iron whatever item, the one you get from Via Infinito, even a level 1 Lady Luck character will hit for like 1,000. It's kind of ridiculous. But that double exp is pretty worth it in my opinion, so. Damn it, Huthor, I knew it. No, I'm not going to turn on Ink None. I could, because I have the ability to do that now. Good night, Crazy Norse. Hope to see you tomorrow. We're actually well over halfway through the game at this point, really. Oh my god, Zalog. Yeah, tell me about it, Blue Girl. But I'm with you. I actually really love the job system in this game. It's not quite as complex in terms of build and setup as FF5, because you can't really mix and match jobs. However, each job has substantially more substance to them individually, and is generally better designed, so better jobs versus cross jobs, that's pretty much the choice there. And of course, then he dies, right after Riku. Thanks, Riku. Oh yeah, they also have really garbage defense stats. Did I mention that? FF10 is Star Wars? What? Yeah, you can also switch on the fly. You can switch in combat, whereas you can't in FF5. So it's still a job system. Whether it's better or not is opinion, though. It's not like a definitive upgrade, it's just different. I'm going to check how we're doing on leveling double exp after this. Now, FF12 is Star Wars. In a good way, but it is Star Wars. Yeah, 10 has very little to do with Star Wars, and many of the Final Fantasy creators have made deliberate Star Wars references in their games going as far back as 6. Check this really quick. Where are we at? Oh, wow. We're nowhere. Yeah, imagine if Luke Skywalker didn't exist. That's FF12. Actually works out pretty well. story-wise, I mean. Oh, there's also no Force, because why would there be the Force? What relevance to the plot does Vaughn have? To the plot, none. Like zip, zero, zilch. He is relevant to 2 character-centric scenes, both of which have to do with Gabranth and Bosch. So that's kind of... He also serves as a little bit of a counterbalance to Ash. But yeah, Vaughn is not Luke at all. I mean, imagine Huthor, if you will, that they made a Star Wars game. Or, excuse me, a Star Wars movie. And then they... Like, after the movie had already been made, they're like, wait. We need to appeal to a different demographic. And so they suddenly inserted a new character who was designed to appeal to, like, youth or whatever. Not that you care. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. That's only in the international version, if I'm not mistaken, Hugirl, because I know the original English version didn't even have the increased difficulty option. Would you stop with that? Yeah, I'm going to be kind of dragging these guys through encounters for a bit, because they're actually kind of underleveled and underpowered, but I really do want that double experience, so... There's other double things you get later, too, obviously. I mean, I haven't seen The Mandalorian, so I got nothing there. And I never will, unless, you know, I eventually do for the show. Since this is all just the same thing, we're gonna speed this up a little bit. I mean, I'm already pretty full up at Huthor. I cover 3 separate TV shows, whatever random thing you guys want me to cover on Friday, and whatever I'm streaming that particular week. I already stream 56 hours a week. Like, I say often that I work 70-hour work weeks, but even if you ignore all the off-camera stuff I do, I am on camera 56 hours a week. It always kind of bothers me a little bit when people are like, oh, you should do this other thing! You should keep doing more! You should add more to your work list, Laura. You should add more. Because I already don't have enough trouble sleeping as is. It's not like I don't want to do more, it's just I am currently stuck in a human body. I'm working on that. New Game Plus was in the English version, in the American version, but it didn't increase the difficulty, Hugirl, so that's what I was confused by. I've never heard of that. That's true, I'm gonna get decraniated, guys. You guys okay with that?
That's it?
Bonus points to those of you who even know what decraniation is. Don't look it up. Good night, Dream Whisperer. Hope to see you tomorrow. I mean, yeah, it's called decraniation. What more do you really need to know? Well, that's why I assumed maybe there was a mode in the international version that was like New Game Plus, but also ups the difficulty. Because I haven't really played the international version all that much. In fact, this is actually only my second time ever playing it. The first time I cheated my balls off, because it was a lore run. 2 more encounters and we're done, by the way. One way or the other. Well, I've only done it the one time for the lore run, Girl, so you probably have a leg up on me, because I didn't do all the options. Well, I did an extraordinary amount of the optional stuff, but I didn't do, like, the creature creator, and I didn't do the Command and Conquer section of the game, which they added, which is kind of cool that they added that, but kind of weird, too. Like, I like Command and Conquer, but I don't want to play it inside of Final Fantasy. Thank you for the bits, Command and Conquer. Very much appreciate, sir, as always. Thank you. And if you happen to know where you want to put those bits, let me know. God, I can literally see a white hair on my eyebrow now. I'm going gray, but only in my eyebrows. And my beard. You sure you want to put it towards FF7R? Okay. I'm probably going to have to put FF7R in the locked-in category soon, so people can no longer put money towards it. I'll have to check where it's at, but I think it's getting there. I know it's already purple.
Oh, your help. Here's your reward, as promised.
10,000. That's actually a decent chunk of change in this game.
So what made the Machina go all haywire?
None of us can figure it out. Pretty creepy, huh? We found agency property smashed up, then the hover crash. Just when we were about to look into that, the Machina went out of control.
Well, if you find anything out, be sure and give the Gullwings a call. Ready to head back?
Now, that wasn't a very feel-good ending, now was it?
People who want happy endings have to write their own.
Oh, what about me? I want a happy ending too.
Go kill brother. So that's actually probably one of my... Okay, not that, but the side quest we technically have done 2 steps of is actually one of my favorite side quests in the game. The mystery one. The mystery of the Machina one. It's entirely optional. You can completely skip it. Ooh, nice. There it is. No, because I don't want orchestral music, Mr. Red. If I wanted that, I could mod FF6 as is. There's actually mods for that. Whoops. Okay. Where's Pain? Oh, there she is. Yeah, they also say something after every mission you do. Tiny little tidbits. It's good stuff, though. It's like Command & Conquer. Every little tidbit he gives is awesome. Okay, so if they give a toggle to use the old music, then yeah, I would pay $100 for that game, no question. Ugh, that's a good cutoff point. We got a couple other optional things to do before we go get to the bottom of the Tale of the Fiends. So, chop off the local recording.